Hello, fellow Wisconsinites. My name is Janelle Ludwig-Krause, and I'm an organizer with Western Wisconsin for Nonpartisan Voting Districts. We are a project dedicated to fair legislative maps. We are powered by volunteers committed to a brighter future for our families, our communities, and our state. In partnership with North Shore Fair Maps and others from across the state, we are working to end gerrymandering so that our communities get the resources that we need to survive and to thrive. We all want clean drinking water, excellent schools for our children, and to see a doctor when we're sick. Whether we are rich or poor, black, brown, white, no matter how we pray or what language we speak, we want what is best for our families and our communities. We want fairness. We want equity. We are giving special attention to the drawing of the new legislative maps that will impact all of our lives for the next 10 years. We want these maps to be fair so that we all have a voice and are able to speak up and obtain the resources our communities need. But powerful politicians, with their selfish interests, are carving up our neighborhoods, rigging the maps, and stripping us of our voice. We must not let this happen. By coming together, we can stand up to those who would divide us. Don Leek, a retired math professor from UW River Falls, gathered a team from across the state to become citizen experts in reviewing and analyzing maps. We want to share what we are learning with you so that together we are empowered in demanding the fair maps that we all need to thrive. So now I'm going to pass it over to my teammate, Dan Russler, to explain what we have been investigating.
Last summer, people from Wisconsin created community maps for the People's Maps Commission. The community information from these maps is real data that state mappers couldn't find on any websites before this summer. Some of these maps were also submitted to the Draw Your District website created by the state legislature. My experience teaching these people along with others taught me a key fact. Community mapping using district software should be taught in civics class. So many people gasped when they saw how our voting maps split their local communities. They always thought that the people out there were taking proper care of their voting districts. What we know now is that the people of Wisconsin need to stand up for ourselves and make sure that our districts are good for our communities. In contrast, our new assembly map bills are designed to keep the same politicians in power. Here's how we know. This summer, retired math professor Don Leek formed the Wisconsin Map Assessment Project to review Wisconsin district maps. We are ordinary folk who love math and maps, and we came up with a spreadsheet to analyze and track these maps. This spreadsheet shows you our work. Don't worry, we don't expect you to digest it. We've analyzed over 30 assembly maps, our existing map, proposed maps from the government, and every other map we could find. The data in the spreadsheet comes from loading these maps into a free software program called Dave's Redistricting. Last week, we analyzed the assembly map published in 2 new bills, and the results weren't pretty. Let me show you. We analyzed the map in 3 ways. They are geographic measures, like compactness, Voting Rights Act measures, like minority opportunity, and political measures, like partisan bias. You will note that the best score in each column is surrounded in dark blue. This box near the top displays the official assembly maps. And we analyzed the long list of ordinary Wisconsinite maps below. Here's what we learned about the geographic measures for the legislature's proposed assembly map. Their map splits 53 counties with 156 separate splits. Not good. We also measured municipal splits because we care about communities. This map from the Wisconsinite list has a very good score. Now, my 2 teammates will discuss how these proposed maps from the legislature would worsen their communities. First will be our team leader, retired math professor, Don Leek.
I live in Assembly District 30 and would like to make 4 points about SB 621's redistricting of it. The statistics that I will cite are taken from the web app DRA 2020, which has been in the business of supporting redistricting mappers for over 10 years. Point 1. Currently, River Falls lies entirely within the District 30. SB 621 divides River Falls, isolating the university from the northern part of the city. Issues that affect the university affect the city's economic and cultural standing, and vice versa. The proposed map effectively weakens the voice of River Falls citizens, and in particular, its university community. Point 2. The proposed assembly map takes what was an exemplary compact district and turns it into a tentacle blob. I call it quadrupus. Compactness refers to how square a district is and is a constitutional requirement. DRA rates the compactness of the current District 30 a perfect 100. This is drastically reduced to 15 in quadrupus. This result is reflective of the entire proposed assembly map, whose average compactness score is worse than that of any other map submitted to the legislature's portal. Point 3. What are the political consequences of these substantial changes? Before, District 30 was a competitive district. DRA states that over a composite of 6 recent statewide elections, the Republican candidate averaged an advantage of only 4.6% over the Democratic one in the district. Truly competitive. The proposed map more than doubles that number to 11.9%. Point 4. One must wonder why it is proposed to transform a politically competitive district, the paragon of compactness, having intact municipalities, into just the opposite. The answer appears to be found in plain old politics. In SB 621, the southern half of River Falls is replaced with Clifton Township and the other 3 tentacles of quadrupus for population balance. This allows the incumbent to switch his voting residence to his primary residence in Clifton. By doing so, he avoids running against his fellow Republican incumbent of the 93rd in 2022. That, my friends, is how partisan expediency leads to blatant disregard for traditional redistricting principles, otherwise known as gerrymandering.
I'm Cheryl Moranto. Together with Debbie Patel, I co-lead North Shore Fair Maps, a nonpartisan group of citizens working to educate ourselves and our neighbors about the intricacies of redistricting and how extreme partisan gerrymandering has helped to create our current political divide. Our team is centered on the shores of Lake Michigan, just north of Milwaukee. We've held monthly meetings, bringing in legal experts, mathematicians, and political scientists to help us understand this complex topic. When you look at the changes that SB 621 makes to the map in my area, one thing hits you in the face. 2 of our assembly maps had become competitive since 2011. In fact, in 2020, the gerrymander was slain in Assembly District 23. It appears this made things too close for comfort for our legislature. So they tweaked the map and let go of AD 23. It went from a 49-48 party split to a 56-42 split. On the other hand, Assembly District 24 went from a 46-51 party split to a 36-62 split. They took 2 competitive districts and made one decisively blue and one decisively red. Well, those incumbents don't have to worry about anything anymore. Whether a safe district is red or blue, it creates the same problem. It makes our representatives less accountable to us, shuts down compromise, and enhances the power of party bosses. It's why our communities so often don't get what they need. While I'm no expert, to me, these map changes demonstrate why the Princeton Project on gerrymandering gives this map an F for partisan fairness. And PlanScore's efficiency gap analysis found the map favors one party in 99% of predicted scenarios. The reason so many Wisconsinites have devoted so much time and energy to learn about redistricting is because we know what it's like to have our voices ignored in uncompetitive districts. We've lived it for 10 years. We do not seek partisan advantage. We just want a level playing field so that the competition of ideas can inform the policies that impact our lives. Now I'd like to turn it over to my partner, Debbie Patel.
I'm Debbie Patel from North Shore Fair Maps. I'm one of thousands of Wisconsinites determined to end partisan gerrymandering. Why? Because gerrymandering robs our communities of the resources they need, and it's not fair. From all over the state and across the political divide, people want to end gerrymandering. We see it on yard signs and in messages to legislators, letters to the editor, respected polls, and county resolutions and referendums. The people of this state stand together wherever we are. Whether our back doors lead us to cows or cranberry bogs, lakes or highways, or city alleys and skyscrapers. We stand together because in Wisconsin, we value our freedom. The freedom to have an equal say in decisions affecting our lives. For all of us to have an equal say. The Wisconsin Map Assessment Project team is telling it to you straight. The maps the legislature now proposes rob us of our freedom. We lived for a decade with rigged voting districts. Now a bunch of politicians who don't care about us want us to do it for yet another decade. Enough is enough. Join us as we say, no way. Join us as we demand fair voting districts, districts where our votes have equal weight, each of our voices equal stature, and each of our communities equal access to the decision-making process that affects our daily lives. Contact your legislators now. Tell them to vote no to these maps. By joining your voice to many others from across Wisconsin, you are bringing us closer to fairness, to freedom, to equity. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day.